we have an amazing keynote speaker for us this evening. This gentleman is the founding member of the Denver Slam Nuba team. He's the winner of the National Poetry Slam, which is the world's largest slam poetry event. He began speaking in the NAACP at the age of 15 and has always had a passion for social justice. He also attended the historically black college and university, FAMU, Florida, A&M in Florida, and he obtained a bachelor's in theater and performance. Mr. Wilson returned to Denver and was the executive director of Shop Talk Live, Incorporated, from 2015 to 2023. The organization uses the barbershop as a staging ground for the community dialogue and healing. After a viral video success beginning in 2015, Theo grew his social media following to well over 120,000 people. That's powerful, his voice. Wait till you hear him speak. Due to the audience demand, he published his first book in 2017, The Law of Action. So that means y'all need to purchase it. And this can be found on Amazon or his website, theowilson.net. In 2017, his TED Talk entitled, A Black Man Goes Undercover in the Alt-Right was seen worldwide, amassing a total of 18 million views. We're in the presence of royalty, and we are royalty. Theo is the host of the History Channel series, I Was There, and he has been featured on Good Morning America, BuzzFeed, CNN, Good Day Canada, and TV One. I want to welcome to the stage Mr. Theo Wilson. Thank you.
Let me ask, of the graduates here, which one of y'all is English second language? Raise your hand. Who is English second language? That deserves that slow motion Denzel Washington, remember the Titans clap, like, okay. Okay. And the reason why I'm clapping it up for y'all is because Socrates said, to speak two languages is like having two souls. That's two models that you can interpret the world through, two lenses in which you can receive information and create alchemy, magic, with your words. How many of y'all speak more than two languages? Because I know I'm in the presence of folks that are like, yeah, where I'm from, everybody speaks 7, 8, right? Some of my folks from the continent specifically, I'm always impressed with my African immigrant brethren specifically. What you've had to overcome to get here is immense. And I want to congratulate y'all. Speaking publicly in a second language takes guts. I gotta say, that takes courage. I began my journey, if I may just put myself in this story, with a stuttering problem. I was that kid who sounded like this. People was like, hey, bro, you sound like a machine gun, homie, right? I was made fun of. The fact that I'm a public speaker today is long odds, y'all. But what happened was, with my stutter, if I got stuck on a word like dog, I would be forced to grow my vocabulary and say canine in order to get past that, right? It was a blessing in disguise. Now, when I finally got confident, I was the class clown. I was the kid that all the substitute teachers feared and dreaded. I was the one who everybody was like, oh, there he go with the jokes again, right? But what that was doing was masking a severe depression that I had when I was a kid. When I was 11, I was diagnosed with manic depression. Now, I was a kid in the 90s, so, the drugs was brand new, and my dad was like, you ain't gonna take none of them. They're still in the experimental phase. He said, what you're going to do is write. You're gonna write how you feel, and when you put those words down, you will begin to write with emotion. And soon, I overcame my stuttering problem and began to speak. Now, who inspired me to speak? So back when I was a kid, there's a rapper you might have heard of named Tupac Shakur. You might have heard of Tupac, right? Well, Tupac, you know what I'm saying? He was a thug, you know what I'm saying? He had that West Coast swag, but the thing about Pac, he's a poet. He's a poet. Tupac made it all right for a man to express his feelings through poetry. What it did for me was open my eyes to the possibilities of speaking these words and making them rhyme, right? Now, I began to be a rapper, rapping about cars I wasn't driving, girls I didn't have, drugs I wasn't selling, capping, lying, right? There's a cost for that. Because biblically, what does it say? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. But if you look at the original Greek translation, word is logos. Mm-hmm. Logos in the Greek paradigm was more than just your word, y'all. It was your essence. When God gave humanity the ability to speak, he lent us his power to create with ideas. I began to realize that this up here lying through these raps was a violation of the logos God gave me. So I began to use my poetry to speak light into people. Light, right? Now, I didn't realize how important that would become. Because when I began my poetry journey, I didn't take it seriously until one day I found myself handcuffed and beaten by Denver police. And I remember when the police stood me up, because this was outside of a nightclub in a fight I wasn't involved in, and the cops handcuffed me, they began to rough me up. And I began to yell. And when I began to yell, police brutality, do y'all see what y'all doing? It turned the crowd around. My voice was my last weapon. And sifting through my trauma, because that gave me post-traumatic stress disorder, my poetry became my therapy. My poetry almost became a piece of my spirituality. Because as I was reading holy words, I was writing my own too. And standing up in front of people gave me the ability to help heal people through taking my trauma and turning it into triumph. Using these words was what the scientists call creating anti-venom, right? Now, who's heard of the word anti-venom, right? If a rattlesnake or a scorpion bites you or stings you, it puts venom into your system. It is about to kill you, right? But you can't make the antidote without the venom. My responsibility as a poet was to take what hurt me in life, what crushed me in life, what broke me in life, and find the medicine and share it. And so, if I can share with y'all today, can I share one of my poems about one of them? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. This poem is called Powerful. It's for the kids. It ain't really for the grown folks, it's for the kids. But the poem goes like this. When I was a little kid, I dreamed of becoming the first ever black Batman. Because Lord knows my own neighborhood of Park Hill needed a defender. You see, the people there had been beaten purple by that gang war between red and blue. But to defend my own neighborhood, you'd have to fight the police too, because the heroes behind them badges was just pretenders. And I remember watching the Discovery Channel when I was just a little kid and thinking, why don't the zebras just run the lions over? Yeah, they were prey species, but they outnumbered the predators like 10-1. Hi, y'all, how y'all doing? And then looking out my window at the flashing lights of a police car and thinking, well, dang, in this country, a prey species is what I already was. Have you ever just wished that you was powerful? Like God in the book of Genesis when his words transformed into the sun when he decreed, let there be light. And then, come on in, y'all. Come on in. Y'all coming in the middle of my poem now. That's cool. African time, Code people time, same thing. We are one people, okay? We are one people. Wow. I'm going to start it again from this place. Have you ever just wished that you was powerful? Damn. Like God in the book of Genesis when his words transformed into the sun when he decreed, let there be light. And then there was light, and it was shining. just like he said it would be, as if his words were manifestation of his might. Well, I remember that we were made in his image. So if he peers into my pupils and his reflection ain't perfect, then it's my personal purpose on earth to tell that dirt to get to stepping. Because to achieve greatness or to be lesser takes the same amount of effort. It's about where you sacrifice versus where you want that blessing. Because without question, the first lesson they should have taught us in kindergarten was that words are magic. Because all you got to do is pass air through your lips and people can read your mind. So be mindful of the spell that you are casting. Because if you speak a dark curse into life, you can destroy someone's soul. Even if you was only 5 years old, how long have you been abusing your power? Adults, how might we have maneuvered knowing that our marriage was mangled because we misused our magic? And that slavery is passed down when we curse at our kids. Why do you think they call it a tongue lashing? Some of us black kids learn Willie Lynch before we learn the alphabet. Then they wonder why our reading scores hang below the others. Who needs jails and institutions? You can hear him speak and know that the child's already trapped inside the language of his mother or father. But if the intent that orders the words decides the spell that is spoken, just change the order and intent, and that spell can be broken. You see, words are like tumblers on a universal lock. Use the right combination, unlock anything you want. From a degree to a new job to a house on South Beach. To attract the person of your dreams, you must possess mouthpiece. Ask and it should be given. Poets pack power inside their mouths. The pen is mightier than the sword. And there was ink pens all over my house. Because if a bullet can take a life in 4/10 of a second, that I could change a life in 4 minutes or less. When you got shackles on your mind, use the key of your speech. Uplift your tongue. You ain't got to be Jesus to teach. Speak from your heart. God is already there. And that's powerful. And that's powerful. See, gunpowder, politicians, platoons, and jet planes can't penetrate the people plotting to put hands of the reins of their destiny. Grab hold of prophecy, plow through your oppression to your promise. Don't matter if you black, poor, white, or speak Spanish. It's about relationship. Evil never wins without our help. So the good transform themselves. That oppression gonna vanish. Weapons formed against you only prosper when you pull the trigger. So let them fall from your hands. Grab hold of your brothers and your blessings. We are the electric lines that God's power flows through. And it's time that we speak our connections. Thank you very much.
Wow.